Hi guys, welcome to Snoop Dogg's Stoichiometry. So I'm going to show you how to do moles to molecules and molecules to moles today. So the first thing you need to remember with Snoop Dogg's Stoichiometry is that you always put whatever is given in the top box. Whatever is the given information to you has to be in the top box. So that's step one, okay? Step two, way on the side over here. So way on the side as far as you can go, because some of these will be a lot of steps. You want to write what you're looking for. Or what do I want? Think of it any way like that. What am I looking for? What do I want? What is the problem asking me to find? And then the big Snoop Dogg step, okay? Snoop tells us to drop it like it's hot, okay? You got to drop your units like it's hot. So whatever your units, like it's hot. Whatever your units in that top section there, that's what you're going to drop right there. Okay. Those 3 steps I do every single time without thinking. This is going to help you with really any science class or math class you take that has units in it. Okay. So whatever you're given in the word problem or whatever, what are you looking for? What do you want? And drop it like it's hot. Drop those units like it's hot. So we're going to look at a couple examples today, and then I'll refer to this diagram that I made that can help us as well. So here's one problem that we're going to do today. So 0.25 moles of silver is the given. I'm going to put that in my first box. 0.250 moles of silver. First step is writing down my given. Next, I look at what the problem is asking me to find. So it says for all of these to determine the number of particles. Okay, it wants me to find particles. So way over here, number of particles of silver. Okay, and again, I'm making a lot of space because eventually these will be more than one step. Just today, we're going to do one step. Third step, Snoop Dogg says, drop it like it's hot. So I'm dropping moles of silver. Notice that I did not drop any numbers. I only dropped my units like it's hot, okay? At this point, then I need to go look at some stuff. I'm going to look at my graphic organizer. For this section, when we're going moles to molecules and molecules to moles, the only stuff I'm looking at is right here. Okay, so I either have 1 mole on the bottom and the Avogadro's number is 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd on top, or vice versa, where the mole's on top and Avogadro's number is on bottom. So how to figure out which one to use is why Snoop Dogg is our lifesaver. Okay, he told us to drop our units like it's hot. That made us put moles on the bottom. Look at which one has moles on the bottom. This one has moles on the bottom. This one has moles on the top. Since Snoop Dogg made me put my moles on the bottom, I've got to use this one. It tells me I have 1 mole, okay? It tells me the 1 mole right there. That means that this business needs to go on top. Avogadro's number goes on top. Now, I need units for that, and the reason they're not written in here is because I could use particles or molecules or ions or atoms or formula units. Any of those words I can plug in for Avogadro's number. In this case, I want particles, so I'm going to use the word particles because it is one of my choices. Okay, so there's where particles of silver will go. Remember, the whole point of setting it up like this is so I can get rid of units. Okay, I've got mole silver on top, mole silver on bottom. That's exactly like simplifying x over x equals 1, 2 over 2 equals 1, etc. So moles over moles cancel out. Silver over silver cancels out. So I'm left with particles of silver. That's exactly what I want. So I now have what I need, and I just need to plug this in the calculator. So this one is going to give me 1.505 times 10 to the 23rd particles of silver. 1.505 times 10 to the 23rd particles of silver. Okay, so that's kind of how to set it up. And the key here is that Snoop Dogg step, dropping it like it's hot. That's what's really going to save you. So let me show another example. We're going to do this one here, 3A. So the 3.25 times 10 to the 20 atoms of lead is what I start with. So 3.25, let me slide it up so you can see it, times 10 to the 20 atoms of lead. My given. It's the first thing I do, write my given. Then I look at what it's asking me to find. This one says determine the number of moles. So that's my unknown. Okay, so I want number of moles of lead. Number of moles of lead, that's my unknown. And then Snoop Dogg says, drop it like it's hot. Don't forget to drop it like it's hot. Notice I left a space. Notice I didn't automatically plug any numbers. I don't want to do any of that. Just my units. Boom, drop it like it's hot. The atoms part and the lead part. Moles and silver, both parts of that. Drop it like it's hot, drop it like it's hot. Just keep saying it until it gets stuck in your head. Now I can think, because this I do boom, boom, boom without thinking. Now I can think. I come over here. Remember, today we're just focusing on moles to molecules or moles to particles. So again, I'm choosing one of these options. So I look at what Snoop Dogg made me drop. I have atoms on the bottom right here. I have atoms on the bottom. Okay. So I look here. Is this atoms on the bottom? No, it is not. Moles are not the same thing as atoms. So I can't use this one. It means I've got to use my other conversion factor, which tells me that the 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd is what was on bottom. And that means that the 1 mole is going to be on top. Now, just in case you want to check, remember that we said all these units here, particles, molecules, ions, atoms, formula units, those go with that big fat Avogadro's number. Look at there. Atoms are with it. That means that makes sense. I shouldn't have moles with it because moles is nowhere written in here. The 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd needs to be one of these units here. It is. Atoms is one of those units that reinforces that I set it up correctly. And then 1 mole on top. And again, we're still in the lead area. So we still have 1 mole of lead. Okay. So keeping my units consistent. Atoms of lead on top, atoms of lead on bottom means I get to get rid of them. I forgot to kind of walk this through like how to do the math. It would be 0.250 times 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. So you times across and then divided by, in this case, 1. So here, 3.25 times 10 to the 20th times 1. And then divided by 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Keep something in mind. You need to put this number in parentheses. If you don't, when you put this in a calculator, it's going to get you the wrong answer. Your calculator is not as smart as you, so it's going to try to outsmart you and mess you up. So this number times 1 divided by parentheses, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd, close your parentheses. And for that one, you should get, depending upon how your calculator works, you're either going to get 0.00054 or 5.4 times 10 to the negative 4th, and that's going to be moles of Pb. And you can tell it's moles of Pb because that's my leftover units right there, moles of lead right there. So that would be my answer on this one. Okay, I'm going to show you one more. And again, all these are either moles to molecules or molecules to moles. So we're going to look at number 4A. Just to get you in the flow of it. So we're going to do this one down here. So, so my given is 1.51 times 10 to the 15th atoms of silicon. That's my given. 1.51 times 10 to the 15th atoms silicon. First box. Always my given in the first box. All right, then I need to figure out what it's asking me to find. For A, it says blah, 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 atoms of silicon. That's how much I have. It wants me to convert it to moles of silicon. Okay, so it wants me to convert it to moles of silicon. So that's my unknown. Question mark, moles, silicon. Third step, Snoop Dogg, drop it like it's hot. Okay, now I go to my graphic organizer. Once you get in the flow of this, you may not even need your graphic organizer anymore, but for right now, we're going to stick with it. Again, just this section right here. Snoop Dogg made me drop my atoms. I look here, that's not atoms on the bottom. I need atoms on the bottom, so I can't use that one. It's going to be this one here. 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Double checking, atoms are an allowable unit for that Avogadro's number. Cool, cool. And that tells me I have 1 mole on top. So 1 mole of silicon on this one. And now I'm ready to solve because my atoms of silicon canceled out with my atoms of silicon. I'm left with moles of silicon. That's exactly what I wanted. So I'm ready to go. So now I do the math. So 1.51 times 10 to the 15th times 1. And then divided by, don't forget your parentheses. I would strongly recommend you play around with your calculator, whatever you're using, making sure you're getting these numbers correct. So this should be 2.51 times 10 to the negative 9th, and that's moles of silicon. Some of your calculators will over round this. So some of you are going to get, let's see if I can do this right with how many zeros I need. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if this is right. I think I need one more zero. You might get this number instead. If your calculator does this, it's fine. Your calculator is technically over rounding, but I'm not going to be specific about it. So if you get something like that, that's fine too. All right, so hopefully that helps you with moles to molecules and molecules to moles. And stay tuned for more Snoop Dogg story. Bye.